I'm Loretta Yarlow, the director of the University Gallery. This is the second in our series of speakers events connected to Greening the Valley, and we're delighted. It's a growing concern here, very exciting. We will be able to offer you, please pick up our brochure, which was produced by the Gazette, listing all of our future events, future speaking events. Meg Vickery, the guest curator's essay, an interview, it's all in this wonderful booklet here. So please pick up your copies before you leave. I'm going to immediately turn this over to Meg, who, as you know, is the heart, the mind, the hand, the soul behind the whole exhibition. We've been honored to work with her on this exhibition, and she has been masterful in finding some brilliant speakers. And the series is being videotaped, so if any of you have missed the first and the upcoming, you're most welcome to contact us. We're not quite sure how we'll distribute, but it'll be on our website probably, and then we can actually get anyone DVDs if you'd like to have copies for your own use. So I'm going to turn this over to Meg to introduce our most distinguished speakers for the evening. So thank you again for coming.
Well, this is wonderful to see such a great packed audience. We need a bigger room, I think. Sorry about that. We didn't know it would be quite so popular, but we're thrilled to have you all tonight. Our speakers all approach residential design from a variety of ways with great inspiration and innovation. But they all, at the root of their work, share a common commitment towards building sustainable, environmentally friendly buildings that are accessible to a wide range of people. And of course, this is what we desperately need as we move towards a more sustainable future. Our first speaker tonight is Ben Uyeda. He's the Chief Architectural Officer at Free Green, which is you'll hear more about that. But anyway, he graduated from Cornell University with a Master's of Architecture degree in 2005 and co-founded the Zero Energy Design, or ZED. As a design principal, Ben focused on sustainable housing projects, both in the US and abroad. Ben's interest in designing sustainable housing for developing nations has taken him to a multitude of countries, including Nigeria, Dominica, and Panama. In 2006, he was asked to speak before the Prime Minister of Dominica about the possibility of using environmentally sensitive building practices to revitalize the local economy. He's received an award from Autodesk for Zed's professional commitment to sustainability through the design of the built environment. His work has appeared in notable publications such as Architectural Record, Popular Mechanics, and Solar Today. He's also made a television appearance on HGTV. He's taught in the architecture departments of both Cornell and Northeastern University currently, and during his time as a visiting lecturer at Cornell, he developed an original curriculum for teaching architecture students how to critically evaluate sustainable design strategies. Ben has worked to address social issues such as homelessness and environmental sustainability by integrating fundraising and coalition building techniques into architectural practices. Never one to shy away from danger, he's dedicated a period of time to living on the streets of Brooklyn, documenting various aspects of the homeless condition. This endeavor is part of an ongoing campaign to address some of the deficiencies of permanent shelters. His experience has also inspired the documentary film, A Hole in a Fence. His work has also most recently been featured in E! Magazine and treehugger.com. So, without more ado, you want this or this one?
I'll take this one. All right, well, I'm going to talk a little bit about Free Green today, but before I do, I'd like to give you a little background about me and my partners, about how we got started with our interest in sustainable design and our experiences with residential design in particular. So currently there's sort of two companies under one roof, and one is Free Green and the other one's Zero Energy. So I work with a variety of different disciplines. I think in our office we have, in addition to architects, we have MBAs, engineers, we have a couple of econ majors, I think. And we all met while we were at Cornell University, and we did the project called the Solar Decathlon. This is the first house that we built. It was a lot of fun. We built it ourselves, which was an interesting experience. It had all these sort of cool utopians, ideas about sustainability. The entire landscape was edible. We had nutrition students work with the landscape architects and work with the horticulture students, and they actually designed not just this sort of garden, but a whole meal plan, and so the garden would provide food at different times of the year. We did cool things like grass couches. It produced enough electricity, not just for the house, but actually to power an electric car as well. All the interior materials, bamboo, hemp, all that kind of good stuff. And so we had a lot of fun, and we decided that we liked working with each other so much that we should start a company. So the natural extension seemed to be starting an architecture and engineering firm. So this was one of our first big projects. It's a house on the Cape. It is, this is the type of project that often gets published as green, and certainly it has solar panels, geothermal, all the sort of bells and whistles that you would associate with a green design. But it's a 6,000 square foot second home for very wealthy people. So we were in this sort of weird situation where, I mean, as a young design firm, you're not going to turn down a commission like this because it was great and it was a lot of fun to design it. But it really didn't feel like we were really saving the world by designing a residential equivalent of a hydrogen-powered Hummer. But nevertheless, it was we got to experiment with some technologies we hadn't worked with before. In particular, we got to see how effective geothermal can be at certain scales. We got to do a lot of, and it led to publicity and more projects. It's a more well-reasoned project. This one was only about 3,000 square feet. We got to work with more of the sort of bullet points of green design. The green roofs, the solar panels, the water collection, all these sort of technical features that have become the sort of icons of sustainability. And again, this was we enjoyed it. We had great clients. But we sort of felt that we weren't really actually achieving the interest that we sort of brought us all together in the first place. So we looked at it and we sort of did a survey of where do houses come from, and we realized that, well, less than 5% of the homes built in the US, and by far the single family home is the most common building type in America, less than 5% of those homes have direct involvement with an architect. So that even if we became the biggest and greatest green design residential architecture firm, we're really only affecting a small amount of people. And if you look at the average cost of an architecture design home versus a home sold on the market, there's a bit of a discrepancy. So we were thinking about it and we're like, well, and we had done projects at a smaller scale, but we tended to lose money on those ones. And we said, well, what we really want to do is we just want to do good designs and just be able to give it to people that can't afford it. And so our goal became, well, how do we develop a business model around what we actually want to do, which is the nice thing about trying to start your own company. And so, as some of our best ideas always come from, we were watching television. And I think I was watching Lost, and I was like, wow, this production value is just incredible. There's explosions, they have broken up airplanes, they have this huge cast. And it's amazing that, yes, we pay our cable bills, but this is free entertainment. And now, of course, it's not really free. It's paid through product placement, commercials. And if you think about design, well, why can't a designer has an ability to influence product purchases, so why can't we use design as a form of advertising? And rather than try to develop a prefabricated housing system, why don't we develop a mass publishing system to distribute design media to the people that need it? So that was the idea for Free Green, is that we make green designs and we publish them on the internet and people can download them for free, and we make money by speccing products into them. Now that was the original idea, and we still have a lot of that, and we've become in the last, launched it about 18 months ago, and since then we've become the largest supplier of home designs in the world. We've had about 50,000 plans downloaded in the last year. Wow. And yeah, so the exciting thing is that